Hello, my name is Kevin Howard, and I'm the host of Breadcrumbs, a podcast for people who know it's not working. Welcome to episode 31, where I will talk about the power of now. You've reached the YouTube cut, which is a 15-minute condensed version of the full episode. If once you watch this YouTube cut, want to get the complete episode, I invite you to join the Breadcrumbs Patreon community. I'll put the link down below. It's $10 a month to be a standard member, but for that $10, you get free gifts worth over $20 that are currently on sale on Amazon, and you get access to all the episodes, full uncut video and audio versions. And you get a bunch of other resources that I make available to our standard members. So check out this YouTube cut where I show how the power of now is actually hidden behind the things we all take for granted. I hope you enjoy. I want you to join me on a journey through a typical day in my life. You're probably saying, why would that even be remotely interesting? Well, the reason why I want you to join me on this journey is because the power of now is actually hidden behind the things we take for granted. We just experience it, but we need to pay attention to these things because in there is where we can find ourselves and find how we can proceed in our everyday lives from a position of strength, the true power of who we are. And so we begin that conversation with breadcrumb number one. We don't appreciate what we take for granted until we lose it. Now tell me you can't look to your lived experience and see just how true that is. So on my typical day, in my actual house, with my actual bed, I wake up and I feel good. I feel recharged. And the only way I'm able to feel that way is because I had a good bed. And I had all those other things, the blankets and the sheets and the pillows and the home that kept me warm. Let's remember that as we go through this day. So then I get up and I do like most people do. I go wash up. Been sleeping all day, got the drool on the side of my face, whatever. Well, we could be adults about it. We could be candid. I go into the bathroom and I wash up, shower up, clean up, brush teeth. Usually have to pee, maybe have to poop. We don't have to get graphic. But the point is, you go in and you now wash up. Do you know that the ability to just wash ourselves in the morning, how blessed we are living in 2026, the difference between what we are able to do and what we'd have to do if we didn't have the home that we're in, the apartment that we're in, the facilities that we have, the technology that we have, none of which we created. But yeah, I go and I wash up and I turn on the faucet and hot water comes out along with cold water. I have a good toothbrush. Yeah, I know I brush my teeth multiple times a day, just like you. But here's the thing. When's the last time you looked at the toothbrush and said, damn, I'm glad I have you? Why? Because I can tell you doing this thing is not going to be as effective as having a good toothbrush. Doing this thing is not going to be as effective as having a good brush or comb. Having an actual washcloth is better to clean your face and to wash in the shower than doing this thing. Okay. So these objects that we use that allow us to come out of that bathroom squeaky clean, feeling good, smelling good, got cologne on, got the deodorant on, you know, Not dressed for the day yet, but fresh and clean. Breath is smelling good. Minty fresh, right? All those things are possible because you had toothpaste. You had running water. You have good facilities, a toilet that works. We'll get to that later in the day. My point being is, as we go through the day, we're going to continue to unpack these things that we totally take for granted because we just use them every day. And they're serving us every day. And they make a huge difference in what our day is going to be like. So yeah, I come out of the bathroom squeaky clean, not dressed for the day. I go back into my room, and I open up the closet, and man, now, hey, I am not a fashion plate. Look at this shirt, dudes. But I got many choices. I got choices for what to wear, depending on what I'm going to do. I happen to be a consultant. I advise on climate and sustainability. And so a lot of my work is from my home office right here. But I go and I meet clients and I do calls on the phone. I have to have nice shirts, nice slacks, different things depending on what I'm doing. So I pick my outfit for the day depending on what my schedule is that day. What does it look like that day, right? Get my outfit on. And once again, how do I do that? I do that because people I will never know made every article of clothing in that closet. People I will never know drove trucks and moved it through a distribution network so it can be in a retailer, whether online or in person, that allowed me to buy it. All of that was necessary just to give me the option of what am I going to put on today? Because guess what? I can't function. You don't want to have this conversation if I'm sitting here with this bare chest. How about you? Okay. So I can't even function in my day unless I have choices for clothes in my closet. That makes sense for what I'm going to do. And that happened only because thousands of people I'll never know innovated many things, did much work, and produced the clothes in a context where I can access it. And now they're sitting here in my closet. So I pick what I'm going to wear for today. I get dressed. And this is one of the favorite parts of my day. I always get up early enough because a part of my transition from that dead sleep into when I am in my first meeting, sitting here at this desk, is I always make time, quiet time, to enjoy my coffee in the morning. And so now that I'm dressed, I'm going in the kitchen. And what do? I start making the coffee. Now, I'm one of these coffee purists. So I like the fresh beans out of the freezer, put it into the coffee grinder, grind those beans just like I like it, fill it in the pot, add the water, and it's one of those kind of the slow drip coffee makers. Technology is a beautiful thing. And I make my coffee. Now, once again, we do this every day. We just push the button, grind, whatever. And it never occurs to us that the only way we are able to do this is people invented that coffee machine. Someone discovered that you could actually drink the fluid flowing through the grounds of beans and it would taste this delicious. It would provide the spark, the caffeine to make us ready to jump from the roof to do our day. Yeah, all the things that go into what it takes for me to be able to make coffee, none of which I can control. The refrigeration to keep the beans fresh, the people who pick the beans, the companies who distribute them, all these things, thousands and thousands and thousands of people. But here we are, the most important part of my day, the part of my day that empowers me to really focus and know, okay, this is what I'm going to do with my day, starts with me getting that cup of coffee. And I'll just stay, I'm a coffee purist. I order special coffee. So I get my cup of coffee. And I usually have a couple of cookies with it. And sometimes I drink it black, and sometimes I put a little creamer in it, never any sugar. and I go and I sit on my back patio. This is bliss. Because regardless of the house, this is how I pick my houses. You know, everyone has amenities that they have to have. One of my have to have amenities is where am I going to have my coffee and what kind of view am I going to have? Yeah, I'm not looking in anyone's trailer park. I'm not looking in a dump. If the view from the backyard is not something that lends itself to how I want to experience having my coffee, I'm not renting that place or I'm not buying that place. I'm living in an apartment. The view off my back patio is a lovely forest, beautiful trees, and it goes back for a while. There are no series of houses. It's not crowded. It's forest. Yes. So I go and I sit outside and I take a deep breath and I just get present in that moment. Now again, I already went over all the things that was necessary that gave me the opportunity to be able to make this cup of coffee. I did not make the forest behind the house, but I did choose this place because it did have that forest. But what I'm saying here is because that presence is there, I get the benefit of forgetting about everything, allowing my mind to clear. Why? Because I'm not looking at a highway. I'm not looking at people walking down the street. I'm not looking at confusion and noise and people honking horns. No, what I'm looking at is a serene picture of nature. And what I can hear are birds chirping. And literally, every once in a while, a family of deer come by. Because that forest is big enough that deers are in there. And there's no hunting in that forest. Yeah. And so, and I've seen a wolf come by. All types of birds come through. And so, yeah, I'm sitting here on my back patio and I take about an hour to enjoy that cup of coffee and eat my few cookies. And all I do is I breathe. The importance of this period of time is that this is where my best inspiration comes from. Yeah. What am I going to talk about in next week's podcast? What concept can I do that would help my customers in my consulting business for climate and sustainability? What new freelance journalism article do I want to write to address some problem that's affecting our lives? All those ideas, all those new lines of business come to me through inspiration when I sit for that hour and I drink my cup of coffee. And what I do is I set everything aside and I just listen to the sounds of the forest and observe whatever little things are going on. And in the spaciousness that creates, inspiration comes up and the most amazing things happen. And then I take that inspiration and after I've had my coffee and my few cookies, I thank the universe. I thank Pachamama, the earth, and I go back in to the apartment and I clean up my little coffee dishes and I go into my office. Because I took that time, I know what I'm going to do today. Hello, you've reached the end of this YouTube cut of episode 31, The Power of Now. I hope you enjoyed this YouTube cut, and I hope you will join the Breadcrumbs Patreon family by clicking the link below. Join as a standard member, $10 a month. Get your free gifts worth over $20 and get the rest of this episode, along with all the episodes for Breadcrumbs and additional resource information that'll help you follow the breadcrumbs home. Thank you so much. You take care, and I'll see you next time in the conversation.